You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New with John, Alex, and Greg. Hey Pal, What's New is a product of Sack of Sin Entertainment. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all other podcast locations. Or check us out at sackofsin.com or heypalwhatsnew.com. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. John, Alex, and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like the Goop Podcast. You have been warned.
In case you didn't know, this is President Joe Biden here with a very important announcement. As you know, you're listening to the Hey Pal, What's New podcast. Now, I know these boys can be a bit vulgar at times, and if that offends you, then you are more than free to leave. But these boys represent everything that is great about America, and you can count on them to keep you up to date with a unique perspective on everything that's new. So you should all just sit back, enjoy the show, and donate. Without further delay, I present to you John, Alex, and Greg and the Hey Pal, What's New podcast.
What the hell is going on here? Listen, it's very...
Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe endorses this show.
Let's go, Brandon. It's Hey Pal, What's New?
That's right.
Hey, we are a Mayapack. I'm Greg, and this is John, Alex over here.
True.
And, we are... Joe Biden approves this message.
We are man on man.
Yes, we are man on man on man. On more man. Yeah, we're having a very gay Friday night here at the GBR studios. Right. You can't see it, but
It's not even Pride Month, is it?
No. Every day is Pride Month for me, pal.
Okay, Sally.
Little do you know. Exactly. Little do you know, I have no pants on under this, but that's okay. I got my my Golden Girls cup, as you can see.
A Golden Girls cup.
And my bestie got me this Golden Girls talking button. Where you?
Jealousy is a very ugly thing, Dorothy. And so are you in anything backless.
So are you in anything backless.
Yes, exactly. I love these are my bitches right here. Yeah. I drink out of this thing constantly now, and I got some great. It was a good day. Yeah, man. So it's a little early, but we're here. We're queer. We won't disappear.
No.
How was your week there?
Very interesting.
Was it interesting?
I had to go on Tuesday. Mila calls me. She's like, I feel like my chest hurts and it's hard to breathe. And you know how the kids are. It's like,
yeah.
I'm sitting there going, help me about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, can you come pick me up at school? I was like, give it an hour and call me back and let me know how you feel. You know, that little tactic of like, because it's like, I know it's allergy season and shit, but I knew how it was going to go down. So at that point I left work and she's like, do you think you can come pick me up? I was like, yeah, I'm 5 minutes away. I'll be right there. She's like, oh. So I get to the school and I go in. Fucking guy at the front desk, of course, knows me already. Yeah. Walk right past. I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, yep, attendance office.
Oh, jeez.
So I go down to the attendance office, and she's like, oh, you here from Mila, huh? And I was like, yeah. She said her chest hurts, whatever. Mila comes in, and we're standing there, and all of a sudden we hear, fuck you, you fucking bitch. You fucking stinky motherfucker. You got your stink all over me. Yeah, when you bumped into me in the hall the other day, you fucking stinky bitch. Brush your teeth. Your breath stinks. It smells like shit. Fucking go take a shower, you dirty bitch. And they're yelling, these two girls. And I'm like, it was so hard for me not to go into teacher mode and be like, break it up, break it up.
Who are these? Just like two random broads in the hallway?
These two girls.
Wow.
And then Mila, I said to Mila, it's so hard for me not to break it up. She's like, no, but you're there as a parent, Dad. You got to be in parent mode. I was like, oh, so I could sit there and go, fucking punch her. Seriously, if I had really thought about it, I'd be like, fuck her up, don't take no shit.
Hey, look, I hate to be sexist and all that stuff, but there is nothing better than a girl fight.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, you want to hit the back in the day.
Back in the days when I was young.
God damn it, we're old. I was actually talking to somebody recently about how when I went to school, they had a smoking area.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, that area in front of the music room, and we talked about how we used to sneak out and all this. I think I was telling my kids about it.
Oh, you just needed a note from like home that says, yeah, it's okay for my kid to smoke in school.
Oh yeah, well not even that. They didn't.
You'd have to sneak out during periods to go out there because you can only go out there like certain times, like during your lunch or study hall or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even think my parents gave me a note. They
No.
just went out.
And then you had Stanley. Get behind the French, you fucking kids.
Is that his name, Stanley?
Yeah,
I could not remember his name. I was like the old guy that would smoke, and his whole job was just getting us behind that fence.
Stan Wojner.
Stan Wojner.
And his son, I think it was Rick Wojner, the head custodian. So
I remember one time I was out there during my many smoke breaks between the periods there, and there was these two broads. I hate to say broads. Are slits,
boy.
girls, women. What were you trying to hit? Oh boy.
I call a foul on that play, Greg. Foul.
I'll take two at the paint. Anyway, there were two. You know.
Oh, foul.
Foul, two at the paint. Anyway, we're out there smoking, and you know, there was always fights. We had fights.
Yeah.
There was always fights. These two women were out there, and they started fighting, and they were pulling hair, and one of their shirts came off, and a boob popped out.
You broke out your wallet.
You would have thought it was Christmas. I was like, this. And everybody stopped. Like, normally a guy fight, everybody's like, yeah. These two girls. Thank you.
Young ladies.
These two young ladies were just fighting and ripping each shirts off, and a boot. And it was like, we all stood there like,
Somebody comes to break it up. The kids are grabbing the teacher. Go, no.
no, yeah. They were like,
Well, the thing about girl fights, I've noticed watching a lot of these like crazy fucking videos on Reddit, one of my subreddits, /r/crazy fucking videos.
nice.
The girls, they get a hold of that hair, they don't fucking let go.
No. You know, that's kind of the benefit of the weave. You know,
Yeah.
you can rip the weave off, and then you can run. It's kind of like a lizard when you step on his tail, and the tail comes off.
And that's the danger of fighting too, because listening to like Matt Serra on the UFC podcast, he used to talk all the time. Like he's like, you're wearing a fucking jacket, you're mine, because he'll just use that jacket to immobilize you and then beat the shit out of you. And it's like I watch these videos of guys like go to take their jacket off. And it's like, do I take my jacket off and chance do I leave it on and chance getting immobilized, or do I go to take it off and as I'm taking it off, I get knocked the fuck out?
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10. They get knocked the fuck out. Go to take off that jacket, and the guy goes plop and just down on the ground.
I mean, guy fights are one thing, but women fights are brutal.
Yep.
I don't mess with my girl either. And she told me, I remember we first started dating, and it was Christmas time, and she went to Walmart, and this guy, now my girl knows some moves, right? She's studied martial arts or whatever, and this guy was just following her, ogling her like that, and she kept saying, get out of here, leave me alone. And he kept doing it, and she turned around and freaking throat punched the bitch and knocked him out right in the middle of the Walmart. I was like, way to bust apart that stereotype.
That's right. People at Walmart.
I think either she throat punched him or just knocked him on his ass.
Right.
I was like, damn. That's why I don't mess with my girl, man. She can kick my ass. Anybody can kick my ass. My daughters can kick my ass. It's all right. But, yeah, as far as my week went, I had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Hence all the new Golden Girls stuff. I got to find my Golden
You and
Girls,
Hitler.
Yeah, me and Hitler and the Combine shooting.
And Laura.
Yeah. All kinds of good stuff there.
3 of my students had birthdays yesterday. What the fuck is going on?
Everybody
Who's fucking 9 months before 420?
I don't know. Yeah, everybody's 420 in it. That's the funny thing. They're like, happy 420. And I'm like, yeah, I wish, but no, I'm good.
No.
I'm sober. But it was really nice. It was just me, my daughters, and my girl, and we just hung out, had cake. It was chill. I couldn't have asked for a better birthday. Anyway, so that was pretty much it. And just, my girls are on spring
What
break.
kind of cake did you have?
It was like vanilla. It was like a vanilla with like a fudge in the middle.
Fudge.
Everybody loves fudge. It's so fudge on one side, so cookie on the other. Yell fudge. Everybody loves fudge. No, it was a very nice cake. It was very simple. And it was funny because Manal got there and she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, she made the cake at home, obviously. And she made herself delicious cake. Even Violet ate it. And Violet's like, I don't like cake. This is awesome. But she didn't have anything to write happy birthday on it. But we had some upstairs, so she wrote that. And they're like, oh, we don't have any candles or anything. And all we found were like a 2 and a 9. So they go, well, you could be 29 or you could be 92. I said, make it 92.
92.
I was like,
happy birthday to me.
yeah, I was like, I could be like 29 again.
Oh.
Or I could do 92. I'm like, and they go, what'd you wish for? I'm like, I wish that I reached 92.
Tell you, my life goal just to live long enough that people stop going, fuck, you're old, and start
Yeah.
going, oh, congratulations.
You made it. You did it.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, so it was fun. Other than that, it was just, same week as usual. And
Yep.
it was nice because I had my birthday off, and then I worked from home Wednesday and Friday. And the girls have been here since spring break. They came over Wednesday, and they've been here. They're going to be here till Sunday. So I got my ladies. It's great.
There's going to be some craziness going on around the town tonight, so be
What's
careful
that?
out there. Well, it's junior prom. Tonight's junior prom.
Ooh, yeah, see, next week is always junior prom.
Oh, is she going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't go to my junior prom.
I didn't go to my junior prom either. No, I went to my junior prom. I didn't go to my senior prom.
Oh,
I went to the junior prom with Anissa.
okay. Yes.
And she left me there with some other dude, and it was very sad.
Oh, did you fuck him?
Him?
Yeah. She left you there with some. Oh, she left with some other. You
She
said she
was-
left me there with some other dude.
No, we went together, but then she actually was into some other dude, so she went out. Like, she didn't leave with him, but she was definitely. It was
Look, I got to get out of here so I can get home, get changed, and go fuck this guy.
exactly.
Wow.
Oh my god, damn it, Anissa!
Well, we were talking about today. I told my students, I was like, I didn't go to my junior prom. I was like, but I went to 3 senior proms.
Well, we went to the senior prom together as junior. You were no.
I went to my brother's senior prom
Gotcha.
when I was a sophomore because Susan Marie was a senior and it was her senior prom.
Yeah, because we went together. Because remember, I went with Kathy, and the four of us went.
Yes, that's right. Because
Yeah.
Kathy was graduating too.
Yeah. So
And that's-
you had to be a sophomore.
Yep. Sophomore dating a senior, and then
Man, slinging it.
and then I went to my prom and Michelle's prom, which were like one was the one night and then the other one was the next night, and both of them were at the same place.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you who the fuck I sat with at any one of those proms.
Nope. Couldn't tell you. I mean,
I'm
the
like-
junior prom, all I remember is the junior prom song was honestly by Striper.
Now wait, wow.
Yeah.
That prom that you and I went to, you went with Kathy.
Yep.
I went with Susan Marie.
Mm-hmm.
And Anissa went with Anthony.
And Anthony is the one that Anissa,
Left your junior prom with
well, took off. And
to go, which is like, when you think about it, like that's like the oddest combination I could ever think of.
oh, and this St. Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was very strange. But I mean, I don't blame her. I've seen the pictures. She was I was a freaking fat, crooked glasses mess with a shaved head. I wasn't getting any till I was later. That's episode 69.
I don't know
the
how
secret
with all that
episode.
pizza face I got as much as I did.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that was my.
It was my big balls.
But my senior prom, I didn't go to. I was like, I was traumatized by the junior one. Thanks, Anissa. No, I'm kidding. We're still tight. We're still good. It's all right. It's all right. I forgive you.
Okay. Well, let's jump right into this
Time
then.
marches on. Yeah, let's. John, you got any
Do you
news?
hate the Jews? What?
Oh my goodness,
No,
coming in
I
hot.
don't. No, I don't. I was, so tonight, Kate is out with her work people, the people she works with. They're getting margaritas over at some place over in Pauling.
The double date, yeah.
The double date. So when I showed up last time, like, I don't know how we got on it. There was like something, I would be singing like these random words to songs that were playing over the thing. And they were just like, how do you do this? And Kate's just like, it's just a thing he does. I don't know where the fuck he comes up with half this shit. And I go, I just think of the most raunchiest thing that'll rhyme.
Oh yeah. So you just
Making up the lyrics.
Oh, I do that all the time. I used to do it with the. I think we talked about it on the pod before with the Disney shows and the Nickelodeon ones.
Yep.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, lick my balls, yeah, grab my ting.
So on a different note, I had to bring that up. I don't know why, but so news wise, I love this. I watched this show, the movie, and it's one of those movies that for me has a very high rewatchability score.
Oh, okay.
Galaxy Quest. And apparently there's a series for Galaxy Quest coming to Paramount Plus.
They're digging up that old IP.
Yep.
It's like,
What
else can we milk?
What do we got in the vault that we can break out and... Well, let's jump to this one then. Speaking of that, last week we talked about the Harry Potter TV show.
Yeah.
And now I find out there's a fucking Twilight TV show coming.
Oh, boy.
Why?
Now, what are they going to do? Are they going to tell different stories, or are they going to do like with the Harry Potter thing and break each one up as a
I think they're
season?
doing with the Harry Potter thing, just telling retelling the story.
I don't know. I mean, those Twilight books and movies, like, I tried. I mean, my ex-wife loved those movies and the books, and I try every movie. I was like, all right, maybe this one.
I read the books, dude.
Yeah. I tried each movie, and I got about maybe 20 minutes in. I was like, this is dog shit, you know? And I love Robert Pattinson, man. He's, the Twilight boy ended up being Batman, but... Oh, God, yeah. But I remember there was, like, the third one, Eclipse, I think, or something like that was actually directed by a horror guy. And I was like, well, maybe this one will be good. And I'm like, nope. So, yeah, keep digging. I mean, but I did see on one of my movie shows that those movies made, like, combined, they made, like, almost $4 billion.
Billion with a B?
Billion.
Wow.
So, with all that money, they're leaving that on the table. Like, how else can we freaking flog this dead horse?
Well, something that interests me, I was saying before, they got the new Star Trek movie coming with Michelle Yeoh. Who's in the Star Trek Discovery. She had a role in that. But the new Picard, the latest season, was like a huge success. They brought fucking all the people back from the Next Generation. And left it off with this is where we're going to go with it, but they stick with a show called Star Trek Legacy, which they haven't even ordered, have nothing in production, aren't even thinking about it. It's like ripe for the picking. Just
it's weird.
Low-hanging fruit, take it.
It's weird how some of these things are so obvious, but yet, at the same time, they're just like, I don't know, should we? I don't know.
And again, you've got the huge Next Generation fan base that if you continue that Next Generation with some of that cast... They'll all watch it, and you've got your Trekkies who will just fucking watch. You've got a built-in money-making machine.
Yeah, like I said, I don't
know why they're so resistant.
I don't watch those shows, but at the same time, I respect Star Trek people, and it's a rabid fan base.
Oh, boy, is it.
Almost
just as bad as Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, and like we're saying with the Harry Potters and the Twilights and stuff, it's like, yeah, I mean, there's such a fan base that they'll watch it regardless. Now, everybody will... Pundits like us just sit there and go, oh, this part over here. But,
not to get too philosophical about it, but I just thought about it. It's like with Star Trek, it doesn't matter what your Star Trek is, whether it's the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, all that. If I'm a Next Generation person and you're a Deep Space Nine person, it's like, oh, that's cool, great, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Star Wars has the most rabid fan base and probably some of the most divided fan base based on like the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and the new trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars definitely...
Sequel trilogy, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Star Wars fans are the most toxic fans, and they'll
turn on each other.
And they just, like, can't we all just, like, we'll talk about later about Mando and even the rewatch I did in the movie section, but like... And when I did watch that, I went, I thought he was dead.
I thought he was dead.
My kids are looking at me like, what? I'm like, never mind. Yeah.
So now this other thing, man, I don't know where to go with this. With Jonathan Majors, it almost feels like this is like ramping up day by day. He's got a May court date, but his management agency dropped him.
Yep.
Which to me says a lot because the management company, first off, didn't knee-jerk reaction drop him and then wound up dropping him. So I got to wonder, like, did they do some sort of, like, research into some of this stuff and find some shit and go, okay, you may not be caught on this one, but you're going to get fucking caught on all this other stuff, and we want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these people, like the PR, and he did lose a few roles and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of, like, the Johnny Depp stuff, right?
Yes.
So... The minute he was on trial and all that craziness, like, dropped him like flies. Everybody's just like, because you know what it is, like, we all know, like, with movies and all this stuff, it's like a 2-year commitment, right?
Right.
So, you could be getting in Ezra Miller territory where, you go and you film all this stuff and it's done and it's shot and then all of a sudden it comes out. You're like, so they're kind of they're hedging their bets, right? They're like, now them canceling or dropping him from all this stuff is not an admission of guilt,
right?
It's just we don't know yet, so we're gonna wait. Now Marvel, on the other hand, is like, shit, Loki season 2 is done shooting, and apparently he's in it a lot, So they're kind of like, well, let's kind of roll the dice and see what happens, because they're all invested in the whole Kang thing,
And I think that's why some of these movie companies drop these people. Not so much Johnny Depp, but I think that's a rationale for dropping is like, look, you're going to be tied up in this shit for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
We don't want to be part of that. So we're really sorry, but we got to split ways. We're not saying we're dropping you because you're guilty.
Yep.
We're just saying that this entire legal battle is going to take so long and be very messy, and we can't be mixed up in that.
Yeah. And, in my hopes and prayers is I'm really hoping that, it all comes out. Because it was weird because when he first got arrested.
Well, there's all these other women now coming out of the fucking woodwork making accusations. And I don't know if that's just people jumping on the bandwagon for their 15 minutes of fame or if it's actually true.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost comes down to like the law of averages, right? Where it was like when Cosby, that whole thing happened, it was like, all right, how many people came out? Like 50 or something like that. Something ridiculous, like 20 or 30. If half of them are lying, there's still 15 people,
Right.
So this is like 2 or 3. I'm sure there's a bunch that are like, yeah, he touched me once in a freaking parking lot. You're like, okay. I'm not saying that this shit is, I mean, if he gets found guilty, then fucking throw him under the jail. That's whatever. But at the same time, I think it's, there a lot of these, because this stuff hasn't been shot yet, they're like, let's just cut the ties right now. Or, and hopefully, he'll be exonerated. He'll be not guilty. Because it was funny because when he was first arrested, his lawyer, she came out and she was like, we have proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We have all
irrefutable
these videos.
proof.
Irrefutable proof that this is bullshit. This is not
all right,
going to
then show everybody.
It's been weeks now. What
Where
happened?
is it?
Where is it? And they showed.
Where's that Pam and Tommy Lee video? I want to see it now. You keep saying you got it. I haven't seen it.
That's right. Open the vaults. No, but
get on the tour bus.
Get on the tour bus.
We'll throw back to last week.
Yes, last week's episode.
Go back and listen to it. It's in the archives.
That's right. Yeah, it's in there.
Hasn't hit the paywall yet. So
now, for some reason, our episode of Rhode Island Red. It's the highest downloaded one this past
That's
month.
okay. We did surpass 3,000 downloads in total.
3,100 month.
3,100, motherfucker.
That's right. We're growing. Yeah. So, what was I going to say? The whole thing about we got all this proof. Now they released the text, and if you read the text, if you go back and forth, it's kind of like I fell down the stairs kind of thing. Where it's just like, don't worry, I'm going to tell them this and I'm going to tell them that, and you're like,
oh, this doesn't
like
help.
This
doesn't help.
No, I'm like, like just don't worry, I'm going to tell them that everything is fine. Like it was a misunderstanding, and you're like, okay, are you telling? Like it's hard to read it. It's hard to decipher.
Who's his defense attorney? Freaking Saul Goodman.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to handle it. We could spin this like she fell down the stairs. They don't know what the tone is.
Yeah, so I don't know. It to me, hearing the text back and forth
makes it worse.
It made it worse. It was kind of like, really? And it sucks because he's such a great actor, But at the same time, it's like there's so many things where I say it all the time where like I can separate art from artist.
Right.
And, there's that whole there was some
the Chris Rock
comedian-
bit. The Chris Rock bit, it's the varying degrees selective outrage.
Yeah, where it's like,
Michael Jackson and R. Kelly.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, where it's just like we don't give R. Kelly a pass, but Michael Jackson,
Beat It's a good song.
It's a fucking good song,
I like Billie Jean.
Yeah, but then you see somebody like what's his nuts from House of Cards, Kevin Spacey. You're like, I don't know, he's a really good actor. I mean, I could watch Seven tomorrow and be like, this is great, but I'm like, ooh, ouch. Even The Flash, as much as I'm excited to see that movie and I'm trying to separate art from artist, I'm kind of like, oh boy.
I'm going to be watching just going, he's so good in this because he's fucking crazy. And I feel like to be an actor, you kind of have to be a little out of touch with reality.
Any artist has to be.
Yeah, that's how you get to that art spot.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, Kang, get your ass straightened out there, buddy.
That's right. A couple of really quick. Andor season 2 shoot was apparently shut down due to safety concerns.
Well, what happened?
Weather. We got some bad weather coming in. Shut down the shoot.
It's like a New Hope with the sandstorms.
I saw that headline. I was like, oh my God, what happened? It's like, yeah, there was incoming, bad weather.
Yeah.
And
Diego
lastly,
Luna had a hangnail. We had to cut that.
Last of Us co-creator and director Neil Druckmann has explained that the creative team for Last of Us is already planned a majority of the stuff for seasons 2 and 3. And I think this is what we talked about previously. They're going to take that Last of Us 2 and everything that involves Ellie, which is like the first half of the game, that's going to be season 2, and all the rest of it's going to be season 3.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to stretch that out as much
And they're
as
going
they
to keep Joel. They got to keep Joel.
Yeah.
There's talk that they're not going to kill Joel.
See, I
right
don't
away.
know. Do you like? I don't know. Like,
Ellie's the hero of that. I don't know why we need Joel.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, at the same time, it's like, it really is Ellie's story.
Yep.
But he's like killing it right now. So it's like, they're like, oh, well, maybe we don't kill him off. And I'm like, but that was the...
Is this going to be the Grogu syndrome?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about last week with the girl that's like, God damn it, get that green motherfucker back on here. He's making it,
he was supposed to be a throwaway thing on that. I didn't know that in Mandalorian. He wasn't supposed to be like a major thing that was going to be around. It was supposed to be like just a thing, and then he was gone.
Yeah, I mean, the two things I always think of is Daryl from The Walking Dead. He was never in the comic.
Yep.
They were going to kill him off season 1, and they were like, everybody likes this guy. Let's just keep. Now he's got his own freaking spinoff, and he's doing all that
Because everybody loves a good redneck.
That's right. Everybody loves a good racist redneck. We'll get to that.
No,
in the
but
trailers.
Daryl wasn't racist redneck. His brother was the racist redneck.
That's right. Merle
was the racist.
was yeah. And then the other one I always talk about is Jesse Pinkman.
Yes.
He was supposed to get killed in the first season too.
And everybody loved him.
They were like, this freaking
Mr.
Jesse-
White.
Oh, Mr. White.
Science bitches.
Yeah, magnets, bitch.
So that's all I got news-wise.
Word.
The word is news. Motherfucker.
John, you got any news?
Rose, you're not going to tell us that story about the exploding pig again, are you?
B. Arthur is my spirit animal. Anyway.
Sexy.
And then there's more, and then there's more. Hey, there's my girl.
Well, wave there. Hi, honey. What's going on?
You want me to? I don't know how to wave to her. I'm gonna give her the black hands praying.
Give her the mermaid. We were talking about how you throat punched a fool in the Walmart for Christmas. It was beautiful. That was my Christmas present.
Merry Christmas. Here's your throat punch, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't mess with my girl. Anyway, we should probably go to our new segment.
Now, hold on there 1 second there, young fella. I was thinking about maybe the two of us get down in the old pickup truck corner and hit one of them movie plexes where we can go sit down and eat a tub of popcorn and check out some preview.
That's right.
At least that one was a lot shorter.
Yeah, that one's cut down a little bit. Greg did some homework this week. Yeah, so we got some trailers that came out. Nothing
major. Nothing like blockbustery crazy.
Yeah, you had 2 and I had 1. So
yeah. My 2 are new series. This is new. I of course knew it's a trailer, but Arnold Schwarzenegger I did not know has never done like a TV series.
No.
And this show that I watched a trailer for, Fubar, is his first TV show for Netflix.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
he plays a CIA agent who's retiring, and one last mission, does his last mission, is like, nah, I can spend time with my family. His daughter gets called off, and then like they bring him in and like, hey, we need you to just do one more thing. He's like, but I'm retired. And they're like, yeah, but nobody can do this but you. And he has to go team up with his daughter for a mission, and then like he finds out his daughter's in the fucking CIA. It's very true romance.
Yeah.
True lies. My bad.
We need you for another 42 hours, Reggie.
What?
Oh, jeez. That's my Nick Nolte.
Oh,
42 hours. 24 hours.
the only 48 hours.
48 hours here, Reggie. Oh, jeez.
The only thing I have the most vaguely remember from the 48 Hours movies is Eddie Murphy singing Roxanne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then when they're in the car and they're going to sleep, he goes, Eddie, tell me a bedtime story. He goes, fuck you. And he goes, That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I remember.
Yeah, the first 48 hours, they apparently did another one where they get him out.
Yeah.
It's called another 48 hours. I see you for another 48 hours there, Reggie. Oh, jeez.
And the only other trailer I saw was Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund story. which looks really intriguing. I mean, you think about it, it's like, I know him as Freddy Krueger and a couple of other roles, but that's really his big claim to fame. It's like, what else is there? And I'm sure Justin is going to be like, well,
you know, he was in this. He was in another. He's only played. There was another horror movie they tried to make a franchise of him in it, and it was like 1,000. I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, I mean, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I mean, he did a lot of them, and he's still like. They tried with old freaking what's his nuts with that remake. Oh boy. Actually, I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
But it just wasn't Freddy. It was just like...
It wasn't all Brad either.
It wasn't all Brad either, I'll tell you. It wasn't like the Friday the 13th remake, which was freaking awesome. Nightmare on Elm Street one, not so much.
Nah.
Which, yeah.
So I will watch that. It looks really, really good. I love a good documentary as long as it's something I'm interested in.
Yeah, the only one that I saw trailer-wise was, I think I had mentioned it. I had seen this movie, Becky.
Oh, it was so good. It was so low-budget good.
Yeah. It was one of those, like, came out of nowhere, bloody good time. Kevin James played this, like, neo-Nazi that breaks in the house for
It was nice to see him outside of what you normally see him in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he wasn't doing the goofy freaking Paul Blart mole cop kind of like, you know, like...
The high school math teacher who gets into the ultimate fighting, cage fighting.
Yeah, and he was badass in that movie. And like
he was.
So, I didn't realize that they were going to do a sequel, but apparently they are. It's coming out next month.
Wait, but I thought he was dead in the first one.
I thought he was dead. Now they got a new...
Who's the redneck racist guy in this one? The KKK guy in this one?
Oh, this would be Stifler.
Stifler? Oh, what the hell is his fucking name?
I forget his.
Bang Stifler's mom.
Yeah, Stifler is in this one. So apparently there's just like insert, character we wouldn't think of, and it's the fireplace again.
Oh, it's the fireplace.
I know. The remote's all the way over there. So
that's okay.
Yeah. So we got Stifler this time.
Well,
it looks good. It's very campy, like, it's
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott, thank you.
You know what I always think of when I think of Sean William Scott is he was in this hockey movie called Goon
that came out around the same time as another one. That was similar.
That was very similar, and I honestly thought Goon was way better than the other one.
Yes.
It's just the other one was so much more hyped.
Yes, and I always think of him...
And you should know, you can tell because I can't even fucking remember what the other one is.
No, I couldn't tell you either. I mean, Slapshot, that's really all you need.
Yeah.
Waiting for somebody to freaking remake that. Oh, boy.
Oh, wow. There's a sequel to Goon.
Oh, Goon 2, Electric Boogaloo?
It's called Goon, The Last of the Enforcers.
Wow. Okay.
Came out in 2017.
Missed that one.
All right.
I always think of Sean William Scott as in the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where he plays Don't get that medicine in my eye. I'm a noble rabbit. Like he plays this like real they pick him up on the street and he's like, to make a long story longer, like they're all going to heist. They're doing that diamond heist and they're pretending to like save the animals and they pick him up and he's just like he's got his acoustic guitar.
Right.
And he's saying, I'm a noble rabbit.
He's like he's hanging out with the clit.
Yeah.
I am the clit commander.
I rule the clit, not this fuck over here. Me. So you gotta
So Becky 2's got a trailer.
Becky 2 has a trailer. We put it on the Hey Pal What's New page.
Okay.
Check it out. If you haven't seen the first one, it's quite a humdinger. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I'll rush to the theater next month for it, but who knows?
Is it this month or next month that fucking Norwegian John Wick, the Finnish John Wick movie comes out like this month?
Ooh, yeah. There's a lot of.
I gotta remember the name of that. There's a lot of shit coming out. Manny was working the other night. He sends me a picture. He goes, "Oh, that's quite the combo." And it's the two like marquees for the movies.
Yeah,
the theaters that are right next to each other. It's like Evil Dead Rise.
Yes. The
Big Lebowski, and I just went Lebowski wins every time.
Always.
Because I hear that let's get off of trailers real quick.
Now, hold on there 1 second here, young fella. I was thinking about maybe the two of us get down in the old pickup truck corner
we're gonna
and
get
hit
down
one
in
of
the
them
truck.
movie plexes where we can go sit down and eat a tub of popcorn and check out some preview.
I was reading, I think it was on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe.
Okay.
They rated all the Evil Dead movies.
Okay.
And of course, Evil Dead was top of the list, the original. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then bottom of the list is the new one.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know if that's just because it kind of doesn't fit in with the other ones. And, to me, I've always said that for me, it's Evil Dead, then Army of Darkness, then Evil Dead 2. I didn't see the remake.
Really? You put Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead over
Evil Dead 2?
Evil Dead 2. See, I would do Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness.
And then the original Evil Dead? See, that, because to me, I put the first one first because it was just fucking out there.
Oh, yeah.
It was still a horror movie. To me, that was a horror movie. Whereas Evil Dead 2 is where they started getting into that goofy, campy thing.
Evil Dead 2 is almost like a remake of Evil Dead, the original one, but they added some more,
campy, goofy.
A little bit bigger budget and some campier.
Right, which stuff. Is why Army of Darkness for me is really like way up there because it wasn't trying to be a horror movie that had a campy side. It leaned heavy into that campy horror, which I really liked. And I can't even say about the remake because I haven't seen it yet.
Well, it's funny. I actually watched the remake today.
Say word to your babies.
That's right, because I want to go see Evil Dead Rise with Violet.
Okay.
Because I was like, we should go see Evil Dead Rise. She's like, yeah, all right. She's like, she's never seen any of the Evil Deads. Ooh. So I was like, all right, well, from what I understand from the Evil Dead Rise is that it's been getting good reviews.
Oh, yeah.
But it's in that line of the Fede Alvarez one.
Right.
Which I watched, and I was like, let me put that on for you to kind of get an idea of what you're in for. Kind of, because they said it's very similar. Super bloody, it's not funny at all. No. The remake, the Fede Alvarez one, it is freaking brutal and dark and messed up.
Wow.
It's awesome. I love it. I love the remake of it. And I watched it again today, and I was just like, oh man, this is like, it's heavy. You're just like, oh my god. Very well done. Super practical effects kind of stuff. Bloody as hell. All kinds of for me, and I love horror movies, but watching that, I was just uneasy. I was just like, oh my god. Whereas
I'm gonna watch
ones,
it.
It's like, woohoo! Hey, it's Violet. What's up? Oh,
she just gave you the finger, bro.
I know. What's up, yo?
Such disrespect.
What a fool. We were just talking about Evil Dead Rise and how you watched the Fede Alvarez one for like 5 minutes and then went upstairs. You weren't into it, huh?
You didn't like it?
No, I was just bored.
Yeah, she has the attention span of a gnat.
It's a gnat.
A gnat. But that's all right. So yeah, we hopefully we'll check out Evil Dead Rise. It looks crazy. So right. I did watch the original after Violet bailed on me. I still watched the rest of it. And,
Quitter.
Oh man, it is just like the premise is they all go to this cabin that I guess one of the families own.
Right.
And one of the main character is trying to quit heroin. So she's like detoxing.
What's she doing?
What are you doing? Can I help you?
What a weirdo.
God, what a weirdo. No, you're cute. Get over here. I'm going to bite you. But anyway, here. So Evil Dead Rise. Hopefully we'll check that one out.
Yeah.
And then what is else that was I did rewatch another thing. Do you have any movies on your
Not a
palette?
fucking single one.
Really? Because usually you're good
I'm
with
all
the movies.
I did a little. I didn't have a lot of time this week. I played a Call of Duty during my free time, but then a couple of TV shows, and I was like, all right, I got to binge those fucking shows.
Yeah, they're still like we were going to talk about Yellow Jackets, but neither of us saw it yet.
Nope.
I will definitely watch it tonight. I totally sidetracked.
I got to finish the 2 series that I started on Netflix. One on Netflix, one on Peacock on the Peacock, so I'm gonna finish those first, and then actually the one on Peacock, I think there's only 4 episodes. They're doing that fucking weekly release bullshit.
That's my Golden Girls button.
Where'd you get that from?
From my bestie over here.
And then I got a magnets there on the fridge. One of the Golden Girls and one of I want to say Stengler.
Stifler?
No, from Stripes. Going, you're pretty fucking awesome.
Oh yeah. They're over
Bill
there.
Murray.
So, so anyway, So you don't have any movies.
I'm laughing at the fact that she's looking at herself like she's looking at the TV like she's on TV, but she's not.
No, she's
like
not
let me
on-
use the TV like a mirror, but I'm not on it.
Yeah, I'm not on it at all. No, we can't. They can't see you. So too bad, so sad. Anyway,
Can't see me.
it's an illusion.
But I watch TV.
Yeah, I mean, movie wise, I rewatched The Evil Dead, and then I also rewatched. It was funny because on my birthday, I was like, just hanging out with the girls and everything, and then I was like, I feel I want to watch something like that I know. I don't want to watch something new. So I was like flipping through, and I'm like, Star Wars. I'm like, okay, I've seen all these 100 times, but Rise of Skywalker.
I've only seen it once.
You've only seen it once. I have only seen it like once or twice.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, but it was. I said, you know what? They were talking about the new Star Wars, but how they're going to do Rey 15 years after that.
Sure.
So I was like, you know what? Let me put it on. It's definitely one that I always like. Freaking just make yourself at home. It's always one that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's just not that. I remember it being like, ugh. But I rewatched it again yesterday. Not bad.
Okay.
Like not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, it definitely. We talked a little bit about it before we got on mic, where it's like every Star Wars movie I enjoy for the most part. There are some that I like way better than others.
Okay.
Rise of Skywalker is definitely not one of my favorites.
Okay.
But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Like there's some scenes in it, like we talked about The Last Jedi, right? That's such a divided movie. Either people hate it.
That's the blue milk movie.
Yeah. Or they love it. Yeah, where he milks the freaking whatever and he's drinking out of it. Now, there's some great things in it. I think Bryan Johnson is a phenomenal filmmaker.
Sure.
Like, he made some good stuff. The Leia Poppins thing, I could do without. Rise of Skywalker, same thing. Like,
well, you hit on the fact that would have been the perfect, since that's when Carrie Fisher died making that movie, that having her go out the window and die like that would have been the perfect way to get done.
yeah. It was a perfect scene of like, and that's what pissed me off about The Last Jedi is that, and I understand that Colin Trevorrow wrote Duel of the Fates, which if you ever get a chance to go on YouTube and watch the people have done, like taken that script and made it.
Right.
It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
You know, that Rise of Skywalker or whatever the 9th movie was going to be was very Leia focused.
Right.
So they were kind of like, oh, what do we do? But anyway, I digress. Yeah, that scene, like, Kylo Ren is sitting there. He knows that his mom is in that thing. He's tempted to hit the button, and he's almost. But then the TIE fighter's going to blow it up. Now she's dead.
Right.
You could have. Now I think they needed to have like, but the whole Leia thing in that Rise of Skywalker. When I watched it, I was like, I know it's not her. I know it's some kind of CGI bullshit, deep fake crap. Not even that good at the end. And you're like, it just. And then the whole thing with Kylo Ren, like he got redeemed. Which you're like, okay. And he comes in the end and helps with Rey. It's like all of a sudden he gets stabbed. Rey heals him. Takes off. He has the thing with his dad, Han Solo. Puts on a Gap sweater. And decides he's good. And kills all his friends. I'm like, okay. So it wasn't like, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But oddly enough, when I watched it again, I was like, all right.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was the first time.
Yeah. Definitely not one that it's the rewatchability, which I know is like, I'll watch Empire Strikes Back a gazillion times.
Me too. Well, there's something to be said for watching a movie like that where you're like, I know exactly everything that happens, so I don't really need to pay close attention. So I could put it on and watch it and like, play Candy Crush at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, there was some cool aspects to it, as far as like Poe, like light speed jumping or light speed skipping or whatever it was, and there were some good aspects to it. I like Poe as a character. I really hope that John Boyega gets freaking redeemed.
Well, there is talk of him coming back in the new movies that are coming out. There was an article today. I just saw it. I should have thrown it in the news, but I didn't get a chance to read it, so I didn't want to like throw it up there and be like, yeah, I read some more. I saw a headline about him coming back, but there was news today about the fact that there's strong probability of him coming back.
I hope so, because they really did him dirty in those sequel trilogies.
Yeah.
Where, it's just like, and that's another thing too in Rise of Skywalker, where he goes, Rey, I got to tell you something. It's like he thinks they're both going to die, and the whole rest of the movie, they're like, what were you going to tell her? He's like, oh, later. And you're like, no, we want to know what it is. I think it's that he's force sensitive, you know? So I hope that in these new movies, Rey's training a new thing of Jedi, and then here comes Finn and goes, hey, remember me? I want to play with the Star Wars. I want to be the Star Wars.
Well, he's
guy
no
too.
fucking Ezra Bridger. I'll tell you that.
Oh boy.
You know what? You said you were annoyed by Ezra Bridger. I kind of like him. He's especially in seasons 3 and 4.
He's definitely one like that. That's what I'm hoping.
He's got a definite Omega level in seasons 1 and 2.
But then he grows up. Once he cuts his hair.
Yep.
He cuts his hair, and then all of a sudden he's cool.
not little emo boy anymore.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping. Did you hear with Bad Batch? They said one more season and that's it. They're doing one more season, so maybe the Omega factor will go way down, and I still loved season 2. I thought it was great.
Yes.
So yeah, those were my 2 rewatches. I didn't see anything new.
The only thing I watched a lot of TV.
Yeah,
I think I posted it last night. I watched that show, The Diplomat. I think I posted something on the Facebook page. I was like, strap in. I'm going to watch this. Yeah. Stay tuned tomorrow night for my review of the continuity, the famous Netflix continuity mistakes.
Yeah.
Little background. It's a political drama, very much like that show, Madam Secretary, that used to be on, but kind of a more badass version of it. It's Kerry Russell and Rufus Sewell, who was, if you remember, he was the bad guy in the movie A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger.
Yes.
There's a bombing of a British aircraft carrier. Kerry Russell is somehow appointed ambassador to Great Britain to handle this, blah, 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 Russians, Libya, Iraq. I mean, if political dramas are your thing, it's a hit. I don't... So much so that the story kept me so engaged that I didn't even look or notice any continuity errors because I'm sure they're there because it's Netflix.
Yeah.
But I wasn't noticing because I was so pulled into the story and following along with what's going on. And I don't like how they portray her as a strong, independent, no bullshit kind of woman. Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden they're like, but she's got to pair up and partner up with her husband, who is a big ambassador, muckety-muck that everybody knew. Which gives you the impression that they're in a partnership, but there's so many times where they kind of like portray her as helpless and can't do this thing without him.
Oh, boo.
So it's like, are you going for this strong, independent, no bullshit kind of woman who can get shit done? And the whole reason she's appointed ambassador to Great Britain is there's supposedly the vice president, who is a woman, has some scandal coming up that her husband embezzled all this money. So it's going to come out. And when it does, she's going to step down, and they want to slip her in there as the vice president. The funniest thing, though, the guy who plays the president is it Lenny or Squiggy? Lenny from Laverne and Shirley. The tall guy who's in Spinal Tap.
Yeah, and also in Better Call Saul.
That's right. He's Saul's brother.
Yep.
He's in it, and all I keep thinking is, I keep looking at him going, hey, let's go down to have a beer.
Yeah, not to be confused with Squee. Hello, Oswald.
Yeah. It was good.
I look at you because you're beautiful with your little pinky hair. Hello.
So, is that because you were hoping for a spot in the new Trolls movie? Yeah. She's short. She's got the colored hair.
Yeah, spike it up, man. We'll get it good. No, she's my little pinkalicious.
Is there actually a new one coming out?
Yeah, the Trolls movie.
Is there a new Trolls movie?
Yeah.
This Trolls always blows dryer.
Okay.
Yeah, go look up the trailer. I thought you knew about it.
Come on, Producer Violet.
Yeah, Producer Violet, pull that shit up.
Yeah.
So I watched that. I watched a couple of episodes of that new show, Mrs. Davis. And like, I watched the first episode. I'm like, I'm not really sure where they're going with this, but from the first episode, it was like, the Holy Grail is hidden by the Knights Templar, who are actually a bunch of nuns.
What is that?
It's not focusing.
What is it?
Because you're too close.
It's the Rainbow Girl from Trolls.
Jeez. All right, go sit down.
Wait.
So,
oh, dear Lord. We've gotten hijacked.
I got this.
You got it?
No, never mind. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Rainbow Troll.
So the Mrs. Davis, I watched the first episode and I'm like, where the fuck is this thing going? Because it's like, it's in history, the Knights of the Templar being killed, and then these guys are looking for the Holy Grail, and they go into this convent, and the women are like, we are the Templar, and like start fighting with the Knights, and these guys who came in, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then fast forward, and there's this woman who's a nun, and there's this AI that has basically taken over the world. Everybody's got like a headset that talks to this AI that runs the world, and she refuses to connect to it because apparently it killed her father or some bullshit. They haven't gotten to how that happens.
You killed my father.
And then it sends her on a quest for the Holy Grail and says, you know, I'll give you anything you want if you can. I can't bring back the dead, but, you know, if there's something you want. And she's like, sure, if I find it, if I complete your quest, turn yourself off and deactivate yourself.
Ooh.
Because she fucking hates this AI. It's like a Siri that everybody constantly has in their ear that tells them.
I know. We get scared with that AI.
It's-
I do. That whole chat GPT and the AI stuff, it's kind of freaking me out.
It's an alright TV show. I'm going to give it a shot. I'll watch it. It's very, like, heady. After 4 episodes, I think I know exactly where the fucking show is going, which I don't like.
Yeah.
I like when they keep me on my toes.
When you said Netflix, I thought you got... I was psyched. I thought you were going to start watching Beef.
I did start watching Beef. I got about halfway through the first episode, and I go, I can't.
Really?
He just annoys the shit out of me.
Really?
Kate, and Laura had this conversation last night because Laura watched it, and she fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't get through the first episode. He's too much of a fucking mopey sad sack.
Yeah.
He annoyed the shit out of me in that first episode. How just him and his low rent Jason Momoa brother you were talking about.
Dollar store Jason Momoa. Come on.
I just couldn't get past
it frustrated me with the whole Bitcoin thing where he finally gets that money and
yes,
the Bitcoin. You're like, what the? Come on, what are you doing?
That and like her and her life and all that. I was like, it's just too frustratingly annoying, and I'm like, I can't get into this, so I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Laura loved it. You loved it. Now Kate's like, oh, Laura really liked it. I'm going to watch it. And I was like, yeah, we talked about this like last week or the week before.
Pay attention.
She doesn't.
Pay attention, boy.
She's like, I don't want to sit and listen. I'd rather sit and talk to you for 2 hours and listen to your podcast for an hour.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, or, you know, when you do at the house, if you want me to come down and sit with you guys, I can. I was like, so fucking come down and sit with us. That's why I texted her last week on the show. I was like, hey, what you doing? She's like, nothing, watching a show.
Yeah. Let's come down.
I was
and
like,
give
that's
your
your.
reviews. I like when your family comes down and gives reviews.
That's right.
We had the Manny review. Mila gave a review.
I was hoping she would have come down during the Renfield review.
Yeah.
So whatever.
We'll get that third chair going. Not like this one over here.
the only other TV out
cutie.
there. Can we talk Mandalorian 3 season finale? Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. So what did you think of the finale?
I really liked it. I did have some problems with it. You know, but I always have problems. I always look for something wrong with everything.
Yeah, I'm kind of like people always. Oh my god, it's only 35. I've said this numerous times with the episodes that they're saying it's too short. I mean, I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like you need to stretch. I mean, sure, certain storylines you want to stretch out and stuff like that. It was pretty disjointed, I think, overall. But I mean, I had a really good time with it. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, just to what's his name? Was it Tar Vizsla? The guy who died last week, Jon Favreau's character.
Yeah.
I watched someone who brought it up. I was like, fuck, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that. Where freaking Din Djarin can just shoot them with his little laser pistol and kill those guys, yet he unloads a fucking gun into them, and it's like, ding, 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 Beskar.
Yeah, you know what it is somebody was saying, it's like you have to get him in the like soft spot.
Yeah.
Because there's like, you know.
Between the...
Most of it's Beskar, but like you get them like they jabbed them in the neck,
right?
Or there was an area that they, yeah, it's like whatever.
But I mean, also, I know there's a lot of talk about why is Grogu now Din Grogu if his name is Din Djarin, because it's what Bo-Katan Kryze and Satine Kryze, and Boba Fett and Jango Fett, and Sabine and Ursula Wren, and Priya and Paz Vizsla. It's like first name, last name. And all of a sudden now Din Djarin, Din is his actual last name and Djarin is his first name.
Yeah, wouldn't it be Grogu Djarin?
But it's not, because Din is his surname, his last name.
I guess Din Grogu sounds better as
it sounds a lot better.
Djarin, you know?
Grogu be Djarin.
Yo, he's not to be confused with that man Cookie Jarvis, you know? He's
Cookie
got
Jarvis.
some fucking cookies and shit. Just like fudge we were talking about before.
I was very happy that they didn't fucking go for that like obvious, oh, the armorer is a spy. She's on the other side.
Yeah. I mean, I was getting a little nervous about that when people were pointing it out online. I was like, oh boy.
They also fed that fire the rumors that, you know, at the end of all this, the hero and ruler of Mandalore, who's going to ride the mythosaur, is going to be Grogu.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting there in the living waters and starts like force communicating with the mythosaur.
Those two are gonna get it on.
So, and someone pointed out like with if Grogu does that, since his species like lives so long, he can rule Mandalore for hundreds of years.
Oh yeah,
and really unite Mandalore and change things around.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the next season.
Right,
they kind of left it as like
I'm trying to remember the name of the Jedi who made the Darksaber that now has been broken, which I'm fucking glad they did that. Everybody's so pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm glad because now it's not all about chasing this fucking sword that just...
Enough with the laser sword.
Yeah. I think they're going to get back... It's going to get back to like the whole like, ride the mythosaur.
And don't bring freaking Moff Gideon back. Like, just he dead in the fire.
Don't have a fucking secret clone we didn't know about, or the one in the suit that you were battling was a clone one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they showed all the Moff Gideon clones. And that was the thing, too, where they brought it up, and he did the usual villain
right,
the villain plan dump at the end. Like, this is what I was gonna do. Like,
and I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Yeah, I was gonna make a whole bunch of clones of myself and make them force sensitive. And you're like, okay, all right,
so that I could rule the universe myself.
Yeah. And then guess what? And they show that with all the clones. And they did the typical, like, his eyes open, and, Grogu's like, fuck, But then they, like, all right, let's just freaking kill all this stuff. Like, it was, like, done. But, I love Moff Gideon as a character. I think he's badass. But at the same time, I'm like, he went out Bon Jovi style. In a blaze of glory. Just let him freaking die. There, you got...
Let him die, let him die, let him shrivel up and die.
Huh? They gotta we're moving on to Grand Admiral Thrawn. So
yes,
Moff Gideon can go. He can go crispy like Uncle Ben and Aunt Veru, and let them get all crispy. And we'll get into some Thrawn. I'm real excited for Ahsoka and the stuff coming out.
Me too.
We'll see what happens with Mandalorian. I know people are like, "This was the worst season ever." I'm like, it's fucking. It was freaking Star Wars.
Yeah.
You got my vote.
It had the politics. It had the adventure. And they set you up now perfectly for season 3 being one of those like Jaren and Grogu, the Dins.
The Din family.
The Din family traveling the universe on like bounty hunter missions for the New Republic.
Yeah, I think next season they'll probably do it'll almost be like an adventure of the week thing. Kind of like Bad Batch where it's like, okay, well, we got to do this stuff, and hijinks ensue.
And maybe they'll have it so this week they're doing something, and they meet up with Ahsoka to do a mission, and then and that ties into the Ahsoka series, and then they meet up with someone else who's in another series, and they reintroduce them like those characters from the Rebels, by having them pair up with them for whatever.
And let's not forget that good old Dave Filoni has his movie coming out. That's supposed to be like the grand culmination of all of them.
The Avengers of the Star Wars universe.
That's right.
Star Wars doing it right. So that's all I got TV wise.
Yeah, I mean TV wise, like I said, we didn't do the Yellow Jackets, which kids. Yeah, I mean TV. Usually for me, it's always freaking jam packed, but Mando was pretty much it, and I'll watch Yellow Jackets tonight, and hopefully we'll get some new shows coming on there. So I guess you know what it's time for.
Watch the musician from the big rock band. Now he just looks like a big fat ham. It's time for John's Hairy Booze.
Oh, strap in, strap on. Whatever tickles your fancy. I love that part of the description. Strap in or strap on, whichever tickles your fancy. Hey, look, Sleepy Joe approves.
That's right. Sleepy Joe is approved. So this week with music news, a lot of singles came out. A few that, I'm kind of on the fence with.
Hit me with them.
Yeah, well, the first one we got to talk about is Foo Fighters. Yeah. That single Rescued.
You posted about that too, and made a comment about, Foo Fighters was like therapy for Kurt's death.
Yeah. So, and at first I was like, some people were saying it, but a lot of people were just like, is it too soon? Like, it almost kind of feels like, look, I know that Taylor Hawkins, amazing drummer, amazing person. Him and Dave are like tight bros. He died a year ago, and so far we've had 2 tribute concerts and now a new album. And you're like, okay, like, is it too soon? Is it like to me, it almost feels kind of gross. Like,
Yeah,
let's just capitalize on this.
But I don't think he is. I think Dave Grohl's got enough character that he's still gonna give Taylor's family their share of the money.
It's not even that. And then I thought about it. Like I said, when I posted it on there, I said, wait a second. Foo Fighters was almost a response to Kurt's death.
Yes.
Like, he had all these songs, and the rumor is that when, after Kurt died, he didn't play music for months. He did that one thing with Tom Petty, which is hysterical. Have you ever seen that?
No.
He, in that documentary, Back and Forth, the Foo Fighters one, which is, I highly recommend. It's really good. It goes up to Wasting Light. That's the last one they did. That's outside. He talks about, during that period when Nirvana, essentially died with Kurt, right. And he had a whole bunch of months, and he went in and recorded the first Foo Fighters record all by himself, did it all himself, as kind of like, I need to get this out. Like,
right.
As
a catharsis.
Songs. Yes. He went to some small studio for 2 weeks, banged it all out, and and they didn't even redo anything. That's the demo.
Right.
That first record. But there was a part where Tom Petty called Dave Grohl and said, hey, look, I'm playing Saturday Night Live. Our drummer just kind of quit. Like, can you fill in? And he did. And there's an episode of Saturday Night Live where, Tom Petty, and then they're freaking going nuts, And there was a part where he said where Tom Petty was like, hey, man, like, you're awesome. You're not doing anything. Like, why don't you join the Heartbreakers and go on to, and he's like, yeah, I really, really want to, but like, I kind of want to see what this Foo Fighters thing is going to be. And they were like, all right. So he passed up. He was like, that was one of the toughest decisions I had to make, was like, all right, sorry, Tom Petty, I'm not going to
join up with Tom Petty, or
either be one of the Heartbreakers and Tom Petty, or kind of do this new thing that you don't know if is going to do anything.
Well, thank God he didn't go with Tom Petty.
Yeah. So after thinking about all that, and then people are going, is it too soon? And even I was thinking, like, it's kind of soon. Like, you're putting out an album now? Like, what the fuck? Like, we don't even know who's going to play live drums.
Yeah.
We all kind of assume that it's Dave Grohl playing drums. He's one of the best drummers of all time. And I listened to it, and the song isn't reinventing the wheel.
No.
It's typical Foo Fighters stuff. It didn't blow me away. Like, not like Shame, Shame, which was the last single he did. That was super different. They put out singles that are kind of different. This one was kind of more the same. But then I was like, no, music is like, to me, and I think to a lot of people, is like the great healer.
Yeah.
You're depressed. You're sad.
Put it in a song.
Put it in a song, like, dude, I did a whole freaking album after my divorce. Like, it helps. It's cathartic. It's getting it out there. So if this is what he's going to do, and this is his response to, like, the Taylor thing, great. I hope it does great. And, I'll always support Dave Grohl. I think he's great. So there's that. And then it was funny because after that, I'm looking through some of the other stuff, and I don't know if you want to hit the I Thought They Were Dead.
Oh, my God. Come on. I got to find it now. You should give me
get them.
Oh, where the fuck did I put that one?
I don't know. But, you could say that they're dead, but...
Can I help you, sir? Yes, what is this? Huh? This is whack! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
I thought you were dead.
Hey, kids. Stained just put out a new song.
It's been a while!
It's been a while. And
has that joke been made a million times already?
I'm sure. I've said it to myself.
Hey, everybody, it's been a while. Stained. Speaking of been a while, Stained has a new album.
Yeah, been a while.
Well, it's a single, right?
Yeah.
That's in anticipation of it's off of the new upcoming album.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed Stained when they first came out. That first out, Mud Shovel, great album. The singer, kind of went off and did this whole country thing, and he's super freaking right wing, like, let's go Brandon kind of shit. Real fucking.
Oh, don't shit yourself.
Yeah, don't do it. He's like Kid Rock territory.
I was gonna say like Kid Rock.
Yeah, went the whole country route, and now he's back in Stained, and it's like he never freaking left. It's just like it sounds just like old Stained, and
good.
I'm like, and I enjoyed it. I put it on the playlist. The guitar player, I forget his name. He's actually done a couple of other things. He's played with some other people. There's a band called Saint Ansonia. He played in that was with the old singer of 3 Days Grace. It's a butt rock galore, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, if you get a chance, check out the new Stained song, which is Lowest in Me. It looks like not bad. Put it on there. Extreme.
What?
We talked about Extreme. They had that one song,
yes.
Rise. Dude, they put out 2 more
Not
songs.
to be confused with Rise Above.
Yeah, Rise Above. We're gonna totally different songs.
Good. Okay.
But yeah, Extreme put out 2 more songs. They're going on tour with Living Color, which I think is interesting.
What?
Living Color is opening for Extreme. Okay.
The TV show?
No, not the In Living Color.
You want it all. That in Living Color?
No, Cold
Cunt to personality.
Yeah, exactly. Pass it on.
What do you want? What do you want? You know that parody.
Yeah.
She got a cunt with personality. What do you want? What do you want? Wasn't that us that made that up?
I think so.
I don't know why I thought that was a parody from the Opie and Anthony show. No, that was us. That was us doing the cunt with a personality. I just go like, what? What do you want? What do you want? Feed me.
Hey man, Living Color
talking to China's
rules.
Living. Sorry.
Then Living Color is touring with Extreme, who put out 2 more songs. I put another Extreme song on there, Banshee. You know what it is? It's like what?
Because you say with Extreme, I was like, but Bill Pullman's dead. How can he be? He's the Extreme. Bill is the Extreme. From Twister. My odd freaking Twister reference.
Wow.
The best worst movie ever. That movie has a 100% on the rewatchability score no matter what.
Oh my god, it's so bad. It's just like one of those. It's like, what was it?
Has anybody seen an F5?
Finger God, man.
Finger God, man.
F5
will relocate your house quite nicely.
Yeah, dude. Tell me
I gotta go. We got cows.
Talk about Extreme. Freaking Van Halen had a really good song on that soundtrack.
Yeah,
that was Humans Being. I think it was called. One of the awesome songs. Last Sammy song. But yeah,
so they're going on tour with Extreme.
Yeah, Living Color is going on tour with
Weird.
Extreme. They
Okay.
put out 2 new songs. This new album. Let me tell you, man. I wasn't a big Extreme fan. I did see them live way back in the day.
I think Kate was an Extreme fan.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that it was Extreme, Cinderella, and David Lee Roth.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
At the Orange County Speedway.
That sounds familiar, but
yeah, and it was right there in that whole More Than Words stuff. Like they were just going up. Like people heard of More Than Words, and then they played it, and it was like, woo, But these 2 new songs, you know what I love? It's just Nuno Betancourt, dude. Fucking rips on the guitar, and it's back to old school, very Van Halen-ish, very freaking. And Extreme was always kind of like that, but yeah, I put that on there, and then to end this beautiful music,
the cherry on the sundae,
the cherry on top, my Discover. I was looking through, and I had read an article about the keyboard player from Faith No More, Roddy Bottom. Which
bottom?
It'll all fit in.
Is it bottom or top?
They were talking about his side project that he had.
Ride My Bottom.
And I didn't know he had a side project.
Oh, he's got a side project.
Well, he's got a side piece is what he's got. So he has a side project called Man on Man.
Oh, hello.
And it's basically, we all, it's not a secret that Roddy is gay.
Wait, he is?
Yeah, he's queer as a $3 bill with Santa Claus on it. But I digress.
I like Santa Claus.
But hey, man, he's amazing. One of the most amazing bands, Faith No More. He's a keyboard player, does a lot of writing. Him and his partner have a band called Man on Man.
Oh,
and it's just the 2 of them.
Ooh,
it's so gay. I love it. It's Pet Shop Boys, not like not Liberace gay, but like kind of very. The music is really, really good. It's very straightforward.
Buck Wild gay?
Not Pansy Division gay.
Okay.
Which another band I love, Pansy Division. I mean, they have an album called For Those About to Suck Cock, We Salute You. I mean, come on.
Well, Man on Man has a song called
I'm So Happy That I'm Gay.
I'm So Happy That I'm Gay.
Something like that, yeah. But I listened. They put out an album in 2021, which I didn't know about. And they have a new album. They released a new single called Showgirls, which I put on.
Wait. But I thought they were a gay band. And they're releasing a song about showgirls?
Yeah, look, we watched the video, the YouTube video.
There's not one girl in that video.
No, there's a lot of bears in there. It's like a lot of bears.
For those of you who know what a bear is, when you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And it sweaty bears, it's delicious.
Ooh.
I mean, I was listening to that single, and then I put on the last album, which the cover is hysterical. Great band. If you ever get a chance, listen to Man on Man. They're freaking. I like the new song a lot. I got into the last record, and I'm like, I didn't know Roddy had a solo project or side project with his boy.
Okay.
And it's freaking good. It's very, like I said, when I was talking Pet Shop Boys and Liberace, I was just goofing around. It's like very alternative, like it reminds me of Left of the Dial, like early 90s kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not
almost like college radio.
It's not like, lick the balls, taint shit like that. It's straight.
Then I'm not listening to it. Well, I want some lick the balls and taint.
You should. We did add one more song on there. That's an oldie classic. That
I don't know where that. You know where that came to me from.
What's that?
I was. It was 420.
Okay.
And on XM Satellite Radio, the what's his name? Who does the show with his mother?
I don't know. I don't have.
Oh my God! No, he's a guitar player.
Scott Ian?
Nope. Was he in Rage Against the Machine? No.
Tom Morello.
Tom Morello and his mom have a show on XM.
Do they really?
Yeah. It's called Tom Morello's Mom.
Tom and Mom.
Tom and Mom. Yeah, it is. So they played Cheech and Chong Earache My Eye.
Ah.
Like to the point where it's where the mother comes in and is like, what are you doing? Get out of bed. No, I'm not going to school.
Why not?
I got an earache.
Earache my eyes.
Like they played that whole thing. And I wanted to listen to the song, so I just put it on Spotify, and then right after it came on that next song, Piss Up a Rope.
Piss Up a Rope by Ween. Which
has... I don't think I've ever heard it before, and I was like, that song is gold.
You've never heard Piss Up a Rope?
Nope.
I was...
instant hit.
First Ween album is like one of my favorites.
Yes.
I forget what it was, like Push the Little Daisies and Make Them Come Up. That was a great song. Michelle Davis was really big into Ween.
Oh, yes, she was.
And I remember when this album came out, it was, I think it's like the third record or something like that. And I was like, what the? It's a full country record.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, the whole album is country record. We used to listen to this on Piss Up a Rope.
Yeah.
And it's got one of my favorite lyrics of all time.
Would you like me to play it?
You going to play the lyric? Or just the whole song in general?
No. Let me find the lyric.
It's one of my favorite. Like, we used to listen to it all the time.
Here we go. I'll start it just before. Here we go.
Okay.
And I can't
go
piss up a rope. You can piss up a rope and feel the pissy dribble. You can piss up a rope and watch me giggle. For the last 6 months, I've been packing your bag. You can wash my balls with a warm, wet rag. Till my balls feel smooth and soft like silk. I'm sick of your mouth.
And you're 2% milk. Oh, dude.
Wash my balls with a warm, wet rag.
That's my favorite lyric of all
That is
time.
awesome.
Every time
I heard that song, I was fucking hysterical.
You can wash my balls with a warm, wet rag.
Well, I put that on my my light songs list.
Nice. That's the way to do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the old music news.
The musician from the big rock band. Now he just looks like a big fat ham. It's time for Greg's music news.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I never brought it up at the end, but real quick, the personality crisis, the David Johansen
Yes.
thing. I was going to say it in my music news. I watched that.
Was it good?
It was good. If you get a chance, a little quick thing at the end. It was
Showtime.
Showtime, one night only. It was shot by Scorsese, which is wild. Not really a documentary of sorts. It's kind of like a performance with some funny stories that they put in there. If you're a huge Dolls fan or a Buster Poindexter fan, check it out. I mean, the guy is 75 years old, I think, at this point, and he's just cool as shit. Like, I put in there, I was like, I wish I could be as cool as David Johansen. He's just like singing with his
My favorite thing he said when I watched the trailer for that was, I was a one-hit wonder twice.
Yeah, he was. So yeah, I get a chance to check that out. I forgot to put that in there. But other than that, yeah, I mean, be on the lookout. Sacasin SOSS2. We have the outdoor venue booked. It's just a matter of where we're going to do it early July or maybe early August. I don't know. I got to talk to my peeps.
Yeah. Got
to figure out, who we want to put on the roster. Be on the lookout for that. Other than that, man, I mean, I don't know. Lick my balls.